Hello, entrepreneurs. I am Gail Harrison, and welcome to the Gratitude Podcast. And today I am grateful for my guest, Coach Dan Gordon. Thanks so much for being here, Coach.
Thank you, Gail. It's a real delight to be speaking with you today.
So wouldn't it be okay if we just dove right into this interview?
Absolutely, Gail. Let's do it.
So, Coach Dan, you've said, and I've heard you say this a lot, you hate coaches, right?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
But you are a coach. Why do you hate coaches?
Most coaches out there are terrible. And I should know because I've hired a bunch of them. They're halfwits, they're con artists. And the problem is, a lot of the con artists don't even know they're con artists. They're just halfwit coaches.
Okay, so explain this then. How do you know a good coach from a bad coach?
Great question. It's really simple. If you're looking to hire a business coach, the first question you have to ask them is, how are you going to make sure I get paid back for what I'm paying you?
Now, hold on a second. Doesn't that remove the responsibility of the client to show up and do the work?
Exactly. And that's what most coaches say. Most coaches say, well, what you put into it is what you get out of it.
Right, exactly. Why isn't that correct?
It's not correct because it's the coach's job to make sure you get something out of it. It's like if you hired a pilot to fly you from LA to New York, and he lands in Cleveland and says, well, if you had been a better passenger, we would have made it. It is the coach's responsibility to focus you, to motivate you, to understand the blocks that you're facing, and not blame and shame you for not getting past those blocks, but to gently help you through them.
And so are you saying that most coaches don't know how to do that?
Most coaches don't even know how to do it for themselves, much less for their clients.
Okay, so you said earlier, you want to ask a business coach, how are you going to guarantee that I'm going to make my money back, right?
Well, I didn't say guarantee because there really aren't any guarantees, but I did say you should ask a business coach, how are you going to make sure I earn back the money that I'm paying you?
If someone were to say that to you, what would you say?
Really simple. I focus on the money. I have a long history of getting people paid back for what they're paying me by the third month that we're working together.
Okay, and how do you do that?
I help them sell better. Most entrepreneurs are terrible at selling.
Okay, but what if people can't afford coaching? Shouldn't you drop your prices? At least you get a client.
Absolutely not. Look, when I went and bought my last iPhone, what if I had said to the person at the Apple store, wow, that's really expensive. Would you sell me this iPhone cheaper? What do you think they would say?
Well, they'd say no.
Of course they'd say no. That's the price of the iPhone. Your business is no different. Whatever you're selling, that's the price that you're selling it for. And frankly, most of you who are listening to this are selling your stuff way too cheap. You should double your prices.
Wait a second. Are you serious?
Absolutely. The reason most people price their product or service at the price that it is because they're afraid of how people are going to react when they tell them the price. So they price it low so people don't freak out. But here's the thing. You want to be more expensive than most people.
And why is that?
It's because when you're more expensive and you tell someone the price and their jaw drops, now you have something to talk about.
What do you mean by that?
So, for instance, my year-long program is $65,000.
Holy crap, that's expensive.
It's expensive. And when I tell people, now I have something to talk about. I can tell them why it's $65,000. I can tell them what they're getting. I can tell them what I do that other coaches don't do. It opens up an entire conversation about the value that I provide. And frankly, when something is more expensive, people naturally believe that there's more value in it.
So you tell them what to say to close more deals?
Kind of, yes and no. So take a sales training company like, I don't know, Sandler. I hate them.
Why do you hate them?
Because it's highly manipulative.
Okay, so what do you do instead?
What you do instead is you have a conversation. You talk to them. You ask them questions that aren't driving towards the sale. They're driving towards getting to know them better. Not so you can sell them something, but so you can relieve that struggle while you're having a conversation.
So what you're saying is, if you're talking to someone about coaching, you're actually solving their problem, not selling them your coaching services.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you solve their problem, why would they hire you?
Hey, do you know anybody with one problem?
No, I do not.
Do you have one problem?
No, I definitely do not have just one problem.
Exactly. One of the things that I started doing is when people tell me that they can't afford me, which is a lie, but okay.
Wait, hold on. Why is it a lie?
If you needed a kidney and that kidney costs $65,000, would you say, well, I can't afford the kidney, I'm going to die?
No, I'd figure out how to get the money.
Exactly. If something is important enough to you, you create the money. You beg, borrow, and steal.
Okay, so let me be clear.
Please.
Someone says to you, I can't afford it. And you say what?
I say, I don't believe it.
And then what do they say back?
Well, they say back like, hey, I'll show you my bank account.
Okay, and then what do you tell them?
I say, look, I believe it. I know that you have created a life of scarcity. And you want me to lower my prices so you can even deepen your beliefs about scarcity. Well, nothing doing. I want you to live a life of abundance. But you're not going to get there believing that money is hard and scarce. You're going to get there believing that when you take a risk, you get rewarded.
So you're saying that people should go into debt to hire you as a coach?
No, I don't know what they should. I've had a lot of people do a lot of different things to afford my coaching. I'm not even going to go into it. But the point is that I helped them become so committed to themselves that they were willing to do the things that they would do to get a kidney, to get coached.
And have you ever let any of them down?
Not even one of them. I'm very meticulous and careful about who I take on as a client. I will not take money from someone unless I am certain I can help them. I don't need the money that bad.
Okay, so getting back to talking about selling.
Right.
How does somebody sell better? You talked about it being a conversation.
Exactly. It's a conversation. You're learning about them. You're helping them. In helping them, you build up what? Trust. People buy from the people they like and trust.
Okay, but what if you're helping someone and all they want is more free help and they don't want to pay you?
Oh, yeah, I get that all the time.
And what do you do?
Well, I give people assignments. I say, hey, here's the thing I need you to do before I'm going to talk to you again, because I don't think your heart's in it.
Like, what's a typical assignment?
This just happened 2 months ago. Somebody said that they wanted to make more money. I said, I'm going to help you with selling. They said, I hate selling. I go, yeah, I get it. I hated selling too. But I said, if you want to afford my coaching, you're going to have to sell better, right? And they agreed. And I said, okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to a restaurant this week, have lunch or dinner, and when the waiter comes back and asks if you'd like dessert, I want you to say this. Yes, I do want dessert, and I would like it for free. Now, I'm totally fine if your answer is no, but that's what I would like.
Wait a second, you tell people to say that to the waiter?
Yeah, absolutely, I tell them.
Do they do it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. People have.
I can't imagine doing that.
I know. The reason most people can't imagine doing that is because of the fear of rejection. So when I was teaching myself how to sell, I gave myself this assignment.
So you asked a waiter for a free dessert, and what did they say?
They said, why do you want a free dessert? And I said, look, I understand that this is an unusual ask, and I'm fine with you saying no.
And so did you get the free dessert?
Yeah, definitely. This just goes back to just a basic tenet of selling, which is you have to ask for what you want. You have to get beyond this fear of success and failure and rejection and what are people going to say and what are they going to think of me? It's like self-torment that we put ourselves through.
So what would you say if someone said to you, Coach Dan, I would like you to coach me for free?
I have had people say that, and I say no.
So just to be clear, you expect the restaurant to give you a free dessert.
Well, no. I don't expect them to. I just ask them if they will.
But if someone asked you to coach them for free, you say no.
Yeah, I don't want to coach someone for free. I was fine if the restaurant said no. Look, here's the bottom line on this, okay?
Great.
You have to do the things you don't want to do to get the things that you want. You have to do the things you don't want to do to get the things that you want.
Oh, I like that quote.
Take it. You can have that one for free.
Thank you.
You have to do the things you don't want to do to get the things that you want. The cool thing is, the more you do the things you don't want to do, the less fearful you become of them. Like, I'm one of the few people that I know that actually like going to automobile dealerships and talking with salespeople. Like, to me, that's fun.
Really? You're not kidding about that?
Absolutely not. It's fun. Do you realize that you can drive any car that you want for free just by going to a car lot and asking for a test drive?
But aren't you worried about someone trying to sell you a car?
Now, why would I be worried? Look, the worst that could possibly happen is that some salesperson talks me into buying a car that I don't want to buy. Now, if that were to happen, I would immediately go back to that salesperson and say, I want to learn what you did to sell me something I didn't want to buy. I've got to learn how to do this. So let's say, I don't know, I buy a car for $30,000. I look at it like this. I pay $30,000 for coaching and I get a free car on top of it.
That's really funny.
See, I live in a world of infinite possibilities. I live in a world where I believe I can have anything that I want. And I help my clients live in a world of unlimited possibilities.
Okay, Coach Dan, last question.
Great, fire.
Where do you see things going with artificial intelligence? How is that going to impact your business?
Well, I'm actually currently working on a chatbot that's essentially going to be a clone of me.
What do you mean by that?
Well, the goal is that you're going to have me on your phone. You can ask me questions and I will give you answers.
Are you kidding?
No. I'm working on this right now. Look, ChatGPT already has something of this function. Like on your phone, you can have a dialogue with it. If you haven't tried that, you have to. It's really amazing. So I saw that and I thought, I bet I could figure out a way that I could teach ChatGPT, at the very least, how to respond like me, and people could just talk to their phone and my voice would come out of it.
How close are you to getting that done?
Oh, I am just as far away as you can possibly imagine, but that's what I want to create.
Anything else are you doing with AI?
Yes, there is one other thing.
Cool. What's that?
Well, this conversation.
What do you mean by that?
The question that you just asked me, that wasn't you.
What do you mean it wasn't me?
Well, it was actually me.
It was you.
Yeah, this whole conversation was something that I recorded.
Wait a second. What are you talking about?
You are an AI recreation.
I am.
Yeah, you are. This entire interview was just me.
So what you're saying is I don't actually exist.
No, you don't.
I'm just really your voice that you change with AI to sound like this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, does this person that I sound like even exist?
No, I don't think so. It's just all an algorithm.
Wow. That's amazing.
It is. And that's what I love about AI. It is genuinely limitless in terms of what you can do with it.
Well, Coach Dan, thank you so much for talking with me.
Well, actually, I was talking with myself.
But I'm so grateful for everything that you shared. I'm Gail Harrison, and thank you all for listening to the Gratitude Podcast and reminding you, be grateful every day, because every day is a gift. We'll see you next time.